Hey everybody! Welcome back to my channel. I'm a financial advisor. Today, I'm going to tell you some things to scare you, and I'm going to convince you to buy my product. Because if you don't buy my product, then you're going to lose all your money in this crazy, crazy market that we have going on. So give me all your money, pay some high commissions, pay some fees, and I'll be sure to take care of you. And if you lose your money, well, it doesn't matter because at least I made my money. You know what I'm saying? I made my money. You may lose your money, but it doesn't matter, okay? You can trust me. I'm a financial advisor. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. If you like my video, like it, subscribe to my channel, post a comment, hit the bell button for notifications, and tell your friends about me because I love dumping on the financial services industry. I hate financial advisors. I hate hot stock pickers with huge YouTube channels that push a bunch of BS on you. I hate them all. They're all scum. The news media, financial advisors, stock pickers, technical traders, they're all scum. They all mislead you and make you scared. And what that does is that makes you lose a ton of money over your lifetime. All right. So this video, I just want to talk about the financial news media and how they manipulate you into buying their crappy products. And the number one motivation or the number one thing that makes people change their investments is fear. If somebody is scared that they're going to lose their money or they're unsure of the current market conditions, they often turn to the news or YouTube channel to, get a better feeling for what's going on. And the first mistake these people make is that they automatically trust people in these financial services industries because they have suits. They're very educated. They're very experienced in the industry. And so they listen to these people that tell them things and they believe them because, they have a lot of legitimacy. I mean, they have a platform. They can, they reach hundreds of thousands of people. So they must be right. They have a suit. You can trust them. And that's the biggest mistake you can make. Because if I even told you this, the vast majority of individual investors and professional fund managers do not outperform the market. And it's for there's a couple simple reasons. But the main one is that when you account the costs of taxation and transaction fees and the unpredictability of stock price fluctuations, you can't beat the market. It is much better to buy and hold the market because you don't really pay that many fees because you're just buying the market and holding it, and you're not paying a lot of taxes because you're not buying and selling stocks to try to time the market. Now, the financial news media, all these people that are trying to sell you this crap, they're incentivized to get you to invest with their products. Because if you invest with their products, then they can collect management fees. That's how they get wealthy. So what they do is they try to get short-term gains in the market, or they try to confuse you with complex terminology to make it seem like they know better than the market and that they can outperform the market, and then they can make more money for you than you would if you just bought a total market index fund, which is complete BS. Because, like I said, taxes and fees eat away at returns. And even hotshot fund managers that have done well over the past 5 or 10 years will probably revert to the mean eventually. The vast majority of fund managers over a 10 or 15-year time horizon actually do as well as or worse than the market. And when you factor in all the buying and selling and turnover they're doing, they actually do worse than the market. But because people like to look at past performance and maybe they see that index funds didn't do well for 1 year, well, that might convince them to say, hey, maybe this hotshot suit-wearing guy knows what he's talking about. And the financial news media helps push that narrative. The financial news media makes you think that you can beat the market. Well, think about what the market is. What is the market? It is a bunch of people, institutions, advisors, all coming together and making their own individual decisions that best suit them. So you have millions and millions of actors all participating in this market, buying and selling and yada, yada, yada. Now, it's hard to really predict what such a massive, diverse crowd is going to do. You don't know what the market is going to do at any one time because there are millions, maybe even billions of variables that you can't predict. You might think that you have a hot shot investment that you invested in because your financial advisor or the news told you to do that. But guess what? there's other people looking at that investment too. And maybe they reach the same conclusion that you did. So if everybody believes that a stock is going to go to a certain level, they're going to buy in at a certain level. And that artificially increases the price of the stock. There's more actors than just you. So even if you think that you have some special insight into the market, you really don't, because there's other people that have more time in their hands that are able to also do the analysis and maybe even reach the same conclusion as you, or maybe they actually know the market a little bit better than you. Now that means that if you're just this guy or gal trading in his office, you're not going to know anything. You're not going to know more than the market. It is impossible to know more than the market. All right. We have a guest here. What's up? Welcome to the channel, man. Like, subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions. But anyway, you can't beat the market. But what these firms do is they try to convince you to invest with them so they can take your money and then underperform the market. It's all a money-making racket. That's why financial advisors and all these hotshot investors, they hate index funds, because the conclusion of index fund investors is that you can't predict the market because you're one person in a massively complex world. When that happens, when you realize that and you understand that, the best way to succeed is to just own the market as a whole and grow with the market as a whole and pay nothing in fees and taxes, or very little in taxes. That is the ultimate way to succeed. Now, if you're watching the news and they're trying to instill fear into you, you're going to keep trying to change your portfolio. And what's going to happen is you're going to actually just chase performance. And when you chase performance, you always get screwed. Let's take Peter Schiff, for example. All right. He's a very smart guy. But what is he trying to sell you? What is he trying to get you to do? He wants you to invest with his hedge fund or whatever it is, Euro Pacific Capital. So what does he do? He constantly harps about inflation. He constantly talks about gold because he's trying to sell you that stuff. And if you listen to him and you put your money in a freaking shiny rock, is that really a good investment for the long term? Do you need to worry about short-term fluctuations or economic factors? No, you don't. Where would you recommend I educate myself on investing? Well, I mean, obviously my channel, but I'm still a small and growing YouTuber. But you can also check bogleheads.org, which I'll put up here. Bogleheads.org. This is a group of index investors like me. And they basically follow the same philosophy that I do. I get most of my knowledge from the Bogleheads forum. So go there and read through their wiki home. You can read all the different, articles that they put on there. And then on top of that, you can start reading the forums and kind of getting a sense for what their philosophy is. But basically, whatever I say is kind of what they believe. So that's the way to do it. But anyway, we were talking about Peter Schiff. So he's a gold bug, okay? And he wants you to buy gold. And if you invest with his funds, you should go look at those expense ratios. I believe his funds charge 1.75% a year, which is freaking ridiculous, okay? But he wears a suit. He's pretty smart. He knows a lot of stuff. And if he instills that fear into you, you might trust him and say, hey, I'm just going to invest with Peter. And when you do that, guess what? You're paying him almost 2% of your freaking entire investment every year in fees. That's what these people are doing, okay? Everybody has a motivation to make money, okay? I'm trying to make money, but you know how I try to make money? Let me show you, okay? I wrote a book, all right? Yeah, this is my book. Stop Being a Broke Loser on Amazon. I want you to buy my book. That's how I make money. And if you watch my YouTube videos, and once I get monetized, you watch an advertisement and I make money from that. But I'm not trying to sell you a product. I don't get compensated for selling you Vanguard ETFs or target retirement funds. I have no affiliation with Vanguard. I have some investments with them, but they don't pay me to sell their products. That is why I'm able to tell you more truthful things, or what I really feel, because I'm not beholden to an external force that's, trying to compel me and motivate me to make money. Those are the kind of people you want to avoid. So always, every time you watch the financial news, you need to look and say, hey, what are they trying to sell me? How do they make money? Are they giving me good advice, or are they just doing it to convince me to invest in their funds? And 99% of the time, they're just trying to get you to invest in their crap. And then they take your money in management fees. And if you lose, well, they still win because they get a percentage of all your assets, regardless of how the fund performs. So at the end of the day, you're the one that gets screwed. So what is my conclusion? What is the whole point of this video? Number one, stop watching the freaking news, okay? Don't watch the financial news. If you're a long-term investor, you don't care what's happening in the short term. You pick your portfolio, you stick to it, and you don't change your plan. Because if you change your plan, you're probably going to do it at the wrong time. Like, let's say you have US and international stocks right now. Well, internationals kind of sucked the last 10, 20 years, right? Well, if you're like, hey, I'm going to change my plan because maybe the US is going to grow indefinitely and the stock market's always going to do better. Well, if you do that, you're going to sell your internationals at a low and you're going to buy US stocks at a high, which is not a good idea. But if you stick to the plan, then nothing changes. You keep buying international stocks at a low, you buy the US stocks at a high. Maybe the US stocks keep doing good, maybe they don't. But at the same time, you're buying the entire world and you're getting it at a discount, okay? That's all you have to do. Stick to your plan. Don't watch the news. Realize the news is trying to convince you to fricking just give your money to them for, potential short-term gains in the market that always seem to fail in the long run. You don't want to do that, all right? So that's it. Don't watch the news, for the love of God. Just learn. Go to Bogleheads. Learn about long-term investing and why it's a good thing to do index funds, because you save a ton of taxes and because you save transaction costs and because you don't pay a lot of fees, all right? Because you're just buying the market as a whole. That's all you need to do. Bogleheads.org. Read my book, whatever. All right. Like the video, subscribe, post a comment. You guys have a wonderful day. Oh, and if you have any questions, just shoot me an email and I'll give you a live video response anonymously. See you later.